You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's The Choice After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's The Choice After Show.
Hello, everyone. Bing is for doing, and we're doing another after show right here on AfterBuzz TV for The Choice. It's actually the season finale. Yeah. Very short season, but we loved it.
We had so much fun.
Yes.
We did. So much
fun. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley, and I'm joined by my two lovely co-hosts today. Hey. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
Hello, everyone. I'm Samantha Laich.
And I am Erika Viera, and I am on Twitter, so follow me. I'm new. I need followers. Erika Viera LA. Viera is Vieira.
Shameless plug.
And Erika with a K. I just need some followers, guys.
I know you
I'm
do.
just getting the hang of this whole Twitter thing.
I
And
know.
actually, part of the reason I didn't join is my biggest fear, which is coming to life, is that I'm getting kind of addicted to it.
I know.
It'll happen.
It happens.
It'll happen. Yep.
Yeah.
I love following the guys that are on the show, too, because I feel like they always tweet out some funny stuff before and after, during, whenever. Yeah.
Any good stuff?
Nothing this week.
Oh, okay.
Let's get to the show. Beginning to kick off the show, we had the dates from last week.
Yep.
And the first being Finesse Mitchell's, and they did a trapeze date, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I want to do that.
I know.
I did it once
before.
before. It's awesome.
Really?
You need a lot of upper body strength and not be afraid of heights, but it's cool. It's really fun. But anyways, they said that he and his date, it went
They
really
hit it
well,
off,
and
yeah.
they're seeing each other again, or they saw each other again.
They had a connection.
Yeah. So then we had Rob Kardashian, and his date did not go so well. Yeah.
Cricket.
Exactly. The Gronk, his date went well, and they exchanged numbers, which seems to be the norm, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost like I don't want to make you feel bad,
Yeah.
so here's my number.
Yeah.
But
Call me maybe.
yeah.
The real question would be, did he actually call her?
Yeah.
Did they actually
I mean,
correspond?
I feel like they kind of follow up and ask, because they'll tell you if they've been texting ever since or whatever.
That's true.
Yeah. So the last date was Stephen Lopez, and he said
best date of his life.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
I
And we
know.
predicted that.
And
We
yes,
totally predicted
he
that
seemed
they
like
would hit it off.
a good guy.
good.
Yeah.
And I know you weren't here. Did you watch last week?
I didn't.
Oh.
I'm a
Well,
sucker.
you should go back and watch, because Stephen
I
Lopez
watched
and his
bits
date.
of your show.
Oh, okay.
Just not the show.
That's better.
Yeah. Well, Stephen Lopez said that it was the best day of his life, and they have been talking on the phone ever since. So maybe there was at least one love connection off this show.
I would really want to know.
I know.
Like, what did you
Follow
say?
up a couple years later and see if they have two
Well,
kids.
even
and a
now,
white picket fence.
I mean, they
Yeah.
filmed this 3 months ago.
Yes.
Are they still like
Texting?
is there anybody that's still in communication from this show? I would want to know that.
Well, we know that a couple of the guys do have girlfriends that are not from this show
Yes,
now, like
yeah.
Rob Kardashian, and
I
who
think
else?
DJ Pauly.
Yeah, a couple of the guys.
He has a girlfriend?
I think so.
I'd be surprised
like
if he
that a
did.
lot.
Yeah.
But actually, maybe not. They just finished filming Jersey Shore, so
Maybe that's
the
over.
last season. Yeah.
Sad.
Aw. I love Jersey Shore.
Yeah. So this week's episode, on the episode we had Dean Cain.
Superman.
Yes.
I loved Superman when I was little younger.
I like that
loved
show too.
I was
Terry
obsessed-
Hatcher.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
It was the best show. It was like the only
in
show. Yeah. Oh yeah.
She was Lois Lane.
I'm out of the loop
You
on
were
this one.
so. That was the only show that my parents, they were pretty strict about TV, which is funny and ironic that I'm here talking about TV. But it was like the only one that they're like okay with us watching.
Yeah.
Like me and my sisters, and it was like Sunday night, Sunday fun day when you're I don't even know how old I was, and it was like my Superman like obsession.
It was a good show.
Obsession. So seeing Dean Cain now, I don't know.
It seems like a few girls felt the same way and still held a candle for him. So.
There was a huge. They had a huge following that show, so it looked like that was kind of what
I know.
I don't think that any of the girls that he turned around for didn't pick him. I think everyone that he turned for picked him, right?
I want to say he turned around for Nishi, but I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But our next guy, Ndamukong Suh. He is a. We had a little bit of struggles pronouncing his name earlier, but
if you could see our papers, we have like
Ndamukong
We'll just
the
call
most
him
insane
Suh.
spellings.
Yeah,
We'll call him
for
Suh.
the rest of the show. We're calling him Suh.
Yeah.
That's what it says on his jersey, anyways.
Yeah,
And on
so,
his
and on
chair.
his chair.
Yeah,
so
his
it's
choice chair.
acceptable.
Yeah,
like the Gronk.
Yeah.
But
Suh.
so he's obviously a football player. He was 2010 NFL Rookie of the Year.
Cool.
So he's got some points there.
That's a title.
Yeah. And then we had Robert Nettles, Dr. Robert Nettles, who's a plastic surgeon.
Yes.
And had a really dramatic story behind that.
He did.
He was just a general practitioner or physician and then got in a really bad motorcycle accident.
Where he got his face tore up.
Yeah. And so he had plastic surgery and then got into it.
That's good. I mean, in some ways, like he had his question, like how sometimes a bad situation can turn into a very positive
change
one.
your life,
But another interesting note about Dr. Nettles is that I think he's a reality show junkie because he was on Millionaire Matchmaker.
Oh, was he? He probably just wants
And
fame
I
then.
think I'd seen
That's
him.
predictable.
Yeah, he was on Millionaire Matchmaker. So
And
We think he's about 45, maybe.
he has
Or not.
the least Twitter following of all the guys that I think I've seen on this show.
How
so
many does
far.
he have?
He only had about 3,000. I mean, maybe.
Well, here's the thing.
Maybe he has more after tonight.
If he had more, I'd be a little concerned because shouldn't he be busy doing surgery?
Yeah.
No, you know? I mean,
I mean, you would think,
Tweeting from the OR, hey guys, like about to do rhinoplasty.
check out this picture.
Rhinoplasty.
this one's not going so well.
Oops. Hashtag oops.
Oops, wrong size implant. Well,
Oh, no.
hopefully she wants B's instead
She's
of
going to
D's.
hate these.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He's a doctor. I mean, doctors. I mean, it sounds like he wants to be like Dr. Celebrity.
I
like,
mean,
you know.
Dr. Oz has a lot of Twitter followers.
Well, Dr. Oz.
He's Dr.
is
Oz. Yeah. The great and powerful.
Yeah, he has his own television show. I
Yeah.
mean,
You can thank Oprah for that.
yeah, give the guy a break.
I think that Dr. Nettles might want a little piece of that.
He might. Oh, for sure. And maybe after The Choice, he might have more followers. Did you follow him?
No, I did
I
not.
didn't either.
Maybe we'll see. And then our final guy, our judge for this week was Tyson Beckford, who really needs no introduction. I mean,
Marissa, can we get some kind of music for Tyson Beckford?
Yeah, we need,
Beckford?
like,
I
an
mean, we need
applause
like
or something
we need
there.
something like a
Toxic.
There we go.
How about we threw this fact out there when we were watching the show,
Yes.
but he was in Britney Spears' Toxic music video back in the
Which
day.
small world? I swear that was on Kiss FM on the way here.
Really?
Unreal. I was like, oh, throwback, singing along.
I love that song.
Yeah. He was good in the video. He was on his motorcycle, which apparently
That's
he's a
right.
huge motorcycle
Motorcycle.
fanatic.
Yeah.
Which was brought up plenty of times
Multiple
in the show.
times.
Yeah.
I mean, he does modeling, but he I feel like he shows up a lot on a lot of reality TV shows.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
He's been on America's Next Top Model as like a guest judge. And
I'm fine with that.
yeah.
They need to keep that boy on
Oh
TV.
my
Wasn't
God,
he in Rush Hour? One of the Rush
Keep him
Hours
on
too.
TV.
he is
Maybe.
so good looking, and he seems like such a nice guy.
He surprised me with a lot of the things that he was saying tonight. He was a gentleman
seems
and he was
so
intellectual and
No
he was
one
just
close with
nonstop
mama.
smiling, which
He-
was adorable.
he had my heart when he was on America's Next Top Model because he had the same kind of personality,
Yeah.
and I hadn't really seen him talk. I've just seen him, you know, his face. unforgettable face. And
You know.
like you said, he's so nice.
He is. Yeah.
He is. Ty.
As we're all sitting here like,
Well, maybe you can go home and log on to AfterBuzzTV.com, go to Amazon, and then buy some posters of Tyson Beckford to hang above your bed.
Yeah.
magazine covers, posters.
You can buy some.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I'm sure they sell that at Amazon.com because they sell everything at Amazon.com.
I know. So if you at home want to buy anything on Amazon, you can go to AfterBuzzTV.com, click on the Amazon banner, and then shop through there because we get a little kickback. It helps us keep these shows coming to you for free, which is amazing. We get a little kickback from that, and it's at no extra cost to you.
I did it this week.
Oh.
Yeah. I love
You're the
Amazon.
girl.
And I clicked on the link. On
Erika
the
should get a
AfterBuzz.
little clap for that.
Yep,
I did
yep.
it this morning.
Oh, see,
Oh my
Marissa?
gosh, Marissa too.
Yay! Another
Everyone's
clap.
doing it, so you should do it too.
Yeah, everyone's doing it. It's so easy. You literally just go to AfterBuzz.com or AfterBuzzTV.com, and you click on the link, and it takes you all to Amazon.
So easy
So
as a
definitely, yeah.
Easy like some of these girls tonight.
Oof.
Whoa, whoa!
Was that a
with
bad
the
transition?
claws out. Okay.
No. I feel like some of these girls were like throwing themselves at the guys.
Well, not any more than any of the
Almost
other
literally.
weeks.
True.
You know.
True.
I mean,
I mean, but they were pretty aggressive with what they had to say, like actually leaning forward, like, I want you to turn your chair around for me, rather than like, this is what I have to say, this is just a little bit about
really,
me.
I actually thought these girls this week were a lot more articulate and a
Some
little
of
bit more
them were.
sophisticated than in prior weeks. So,
I think Nishi, she was our
Yeah.
girl that kind of
Yeah.
pulled it all
She was
together.
the
she was
first
a
one out.
definite standout.
Yeah. Speaks 5 languages.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really pretty girl. Seems super smart.
Wasn't trashy in the slightest. Very classy.
No. And she
killed it.
She killed it.
And-
she nailed it.
Yeah. Were there any other standouts for you, good or bad?
Nicole, Brooklyn
Which
Nicole.
one? There are 2 Nicoles.
Brooklyn Nicole, that we weren't sure how old she was, and we knew that she wasn't going to make it very far.
Wait, whose team was she on?
She was Barbie, and she went to Tyson's team.
Oh,
team.
that's right. That's right.
Yes.
She was
She was-
kicked, she was kicked out pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that first round.
So any other girls?
I liked Diana, who was
Yeah,
the
she
Air
stood out to
Force
me, too.
girl.
Yeah.
She was super cute, really pretty girl in the Air Force, and then she said the whole thing with the multiple sclerosis and
She was in the round where Sue had to pick between 2 girls to fill out his dating pool.
the elimination
And,
round.
yeah, when she was against Stacy.
yes, that was kind of a no-brainer. We all
I
called
know.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, she said
Stacey
she does
and-
lingerie, football. Like, obviously, he's going to pick her.
She's in the Air Force,
Yeah.
and she was adorable.
Yeah, she
Brazilian,
She had a rock and
Colombian.
roll body.
Yeah. For me, I thought that Jay stuck out just because she was the only one with a weird name this week.
J, period.
Jay.
Jay, I know there are a lot more normal names.
I know.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping for some original baby
Well, wait,
names.
when Nishi, oh
No, not that I'm gonna have babies anytime soon.
If you think about it, though, we were saying that the girls seemed a little bit older than previous episodes, and these are kind of like the upper 20s, like the older names, you know? Like, there wasn't any young names that have just started, like, circulating in, like, current years, you know?
Yeah,
We've got the
that's true.
Amandas, Ashley, Jessica, Katie, Nicole's, you
Like,
know?
totally normal names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one thing, well, we can talk about it for a second round, but one thing we hadn't mentioned yet at all that it just is absolutely ridiculous are those sashes that the girls wear.
Yeah.
Like, really?
It's
In the
so
second round,
pageanty.
it looks like a
Yeah.
pageant when they're
I
walking
mean,
out. They have to do the
Yeah, the
arm
arm.
pose.
Yeah, the pose.
arm
And
at the top.
it's funny because we hadn't mentioned it at all. And
No.
every week they have these kooky little sashes with the guy's name on it. And you're like, it just seems so
And they have
silly.
to walk out, strut their stuff on
Yeah.
stage, pose,
Yeah.
and then like line up in formation.
And then the question round where they're like
Yeah.
just trying to come up with the best answer possible
Yeah.
rather than the truth.
And,
Yeah.
and wearing a sash.
yes.
What a tier.
So
next
it is.
season.
It is very pageanty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Donald Trump and the Miss USA organization will complain to them for I don't
Competing?
know. Yeah.
No.
Copyright infringement. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't
Those
know.
sashes are ours. They're trademarked.
We're the only ones that can use a sash.
So anyone else stand out in the first round for either of you?
You know, actually, I think she was one of the first ones out. Jessica.
Yeah. The motocross girl.
Yeah, she was really pretty, very sophisticated. She just was very like, she actually looked like Jenna Jameson, her face. So I think right off, it was like, whoa, she's a different kind of girl than the other girls. And she seemed a little bit older. And so she stood out to me.
More mature.
Ashley, she was pleading with Dean, let me be your Lois. That stuck out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was
But
cute.
he didn't end up turning around for her anyways.
He was done.
And then we had Gina the ballerina. Gina the ballerina, who she was in Black Swan as a
like understudy or
no,
what?
it was for, I think she was a double, one of the dancing like ballerina doubles. I'm not sure who for, but I googled it when we were watching the show, because if you remember that huge dispute between one of the ballerinas, who was a ballerina double, and Black Swan, one of the ballerinas was saying that Natalie Portman's character Natalie Portman didn't do any of the real dancing, and she had done all of this stuff. All of the footage that they used was actually her, and she called the producers out. No, I looked it up, and it was Sarah Lane. So it's a different girl, but I just had to double check because that was the first thing that came to my mind when I heard that she was in Black Swan.
Yeah, she really threw Natalie Portman under the bus on that one.
Yeah, the other girl.
Yeah. But yeah, not this girl.
Not this girl. So she's in the clear. And then I feel like a couple of the other girls, the girl that went hunting, Jenny, that was just kind of a weird thing to lead off with.
Oh, yeah, biology.
But she was one of the most gorgeous girls of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, she was really pretty.
She was really pretty.
Very pretty.
Yeah. And very articulate, very composed. Yeah. Seemed like a classy girl.
But she did say, I mean, this is jumping ahead, but during the question round, it was just a weird answer. Like, if you could meet anybody in the world, who would it be? And she said Tyra Banks. I mean, I love me my America's Next Top Model and my Tyra Banks, but...
That wasn't Jenny.
The speed round.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I just thought that was a funny answer.
Yeah.
Like, really, of everyone in the whole world, that's who you'd want to meet is Tyra Banks?
I don't know.
She's a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tyra.
Yeah.
I love America's Next Top
Who would
Model.
you want to meet?
I don't know.
Ooh.
See, it's tough when you're on the spot.
No, I'd want to meet. I mean, I would probably say something like on the spot, probably be like Oprah Winfrey or, you know, the president.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Oprah, the president.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a generic, quick answer, like from your instinct without thinking.
Yeah. True.
So probably would be Oprah. I love Oprah.
She is awesome.
I love Oprah
Teach
Winfrey.
me your ways, Oprah.
She's amazing.
Right? Yeah.
Goodness.
And her and I share the same birthday.
Oh,
Really? Yeah.
You guys could have a joint birthday party.
How cool would that be?
We'll be there.
In her Montecito, in her house in Montecito.
Yeah.
Oprah, hey-oh. You can
Follow her on
invite
Twitter.
Gail, no problem.
Exactly.
And Dr. Oz.
Stedman will be there.
Nate,
Yeah.
I love Nate. Nate.
Well, as long as you bring me, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
We'll
you
be
guys
there.
are,
If
you
if
guys
I
are,
get the invite.
you
we'll
guys are
carpool.
both invited, and so is Marissa to my Oprah birthday party.
Aw,
So, yeah.
that's so thoughtful.
Yay!
Well, on that note, let's go on. Let's stop with all this birthday talk because
Okay.
I'm wanting
All right.
some cake right now.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
round 2 for tonight, we had the speed round where they asked the girls questions for 15 seconds. And I feel like this week we kind of, I don't know. I know that in previous weeks the guys have asked girls questions, girls have asked guys questions. It's gone back and forth and it's worked well. But in this week, I feel like a lot of the girls were asking questions and didn't to the guys, and that didn't give enough time for the guys to get to know them.
Yeah.
They were learning stuff about the guys, but they didn't give the guys the opportunity to learn anything about them. I think the first week we were both like, what's going on? You know, like no one knows like who's supposed to be asking the questions, you know? And then everyone, as the season went on, I think kind of just fell into the sync of things. And then this week the girls just dominated. They were like, are you close with your mom? What's your favorite color? Where do you want to travel to? And the guy was like, I didn't even get the answer.
I think the guys wanted to ask some questions, you know?
I mean, there were a couple times where the girls cut them off, it seemed like. So
Dean was like spinning around in his chair, like trying to still talk more.
And
he just didn't have the opportunity.
Yeah, if the girls were smart, they just let the guy ask the questions. Gives them more opportunity.
Let them
to
take
talk.
control.
Yeah.
Let them wear those pants.
I know, because we know Dean wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
He kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Me too.
Yeah, but
going into
You
this,
get
I
it,
was,
you're Superman.
I was most excited to see him, and then
we'll talk about that in round 3
later
maybe.
on.
So some of the questions I feel like were better than the past weeks. We had like Tyson's at the end, the last question.
Stem
What do
cell
you think of
research.
stem cell research to Nishi? And she pulled out a great answer.
Yeah.
Like, how pageanty perfect
Yes.
was that?
I mean, that showed how smart she was. I mean, to be able to whip that out quick and just to sound eloquent, to sound, like have some kind of succinct answer. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. Not only was her answer completely put together, but it was actually a good answer too. Like it made sense, and it was completely like on spot.
And do you think some of the other girls could have fared as well with that
no,
question?
no, not
This
at
was
all.
in round 3, but the girl, she's like, well,
Nicole?
I just adopted a cat.
Oh my God.
That answer was
She
okay.
rescued
I
a
was thinking
cat.
of
Nicole.
Nicole's. Oh,
we will get
yeah,
there.
we'll wait.
We will get there, but
Well, plenty of things to say there.
yeah. And then other Nicole, actually in round 2, blonde Nicole, she I guess heard backstage or somewhere that Tyson liked motorcycles. It was just really uncomfortable because like when she did have her 15 seconds, she said, "Do you like motorcycles?" And he didn't answer it. He just laughed and asked her a question.
Yeah.
And then after he asked the question and she answered, she said, "So I heard you like motorcycles." And then he had to turn around.
Yeah. And she said that was awkward.
Well.
She was nervous.
Yeah.
She was nervous, maybe.
Any other questions that you thought? I actually thought Gina's answer, she had a question about, Dean asked her, do you want any kids? Or do you have any kids? And she said, no, but I'm a babysitter, so
I babysit a lot.
I want 3.
Yeah.
She was, I think, a little too sweet for her own good for this show.
I know.
Because
She
can
was
just read
so
it on
nice,
her.
though. Yeah.
yeah,
But
poor girl.
so we had... True. I feel
We're
like
brutal
a
in
lot
here.
of the girls...
I know.
I sympathize for them. I don't know.
Yeah, you just feel embarrassed for them.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
Anyways.
I don't know if you want to talk about this, Samantha, but
Oh.
weren't you asked to be on the show?
It was
or
like a
approached?
friend of a friend
Yeah.
that was like reaching out to everyone about the show, and I did not know the name of it. And then after this came about, my friend was like, "Yeah, that was a show I was trying to get you on." I was like, "Oh, well,
I dodged that bullet.
You're on the after show,
But-
which is just as good, if
not
not better.
better.
so much better, so much better."
It's so much fun just talking about it.
I know, and making fun of the weird names and
Can't believe it's our last week.
yeah, I know. What kind of sound effect was that?
That was
That
a
sounded like a
boo.
cheer
That was like a
boo.
boo.
They're booing it.
Well, hopefully it'll get renewed for a second season. We don't know
be
yet,
back.
but
Do you think it will?
I think it has potential.
I mean, I think if they need a summer show,
Like a filler.
Yeah.
that they use for something like this, if they step it up with the guys that are on the show, you'll get the buzz around it then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Just get the talent done.
It has potential. We'll see. We'll keep you guys updated.
In the
We'll
loop.
tweet you and let you know if you're following us.
Exactly. So let's get to the eliminations in round 2.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. First we had Dean, who eliminated Gina. Yes.
No surprise.
Yeah,
We all predicted
we
that.
saw it coming.
Yeah. Sue, who eliminated Jay.
Jay. I thought Jay was actually a little bit of a standout to me too. She was an entertainment lawyer. I mean, she seemed really spunky, smart. She was cute.
She was
Sue had a
pretty
good
cute, yeah.
group.
But I think
She
that
had a really
he-
good group.
I mean, obviously he loved Diana, and then Christy went with the whole I cook thing, which he completely ate up. He loved that.
He ate it up literally.
Literally he ate it up. And so it just kind of left Jay out there to kind of, not make the cut.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Dr.
Yes, so then we had Dr. Nettles, who eliminated Ashley.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who she is, to be honest, so that can't be a good thing.
That. I wrote drunk, and
she didn't seem drunk. She was just
she was very
outgoing.
energetic,
and he turned around with her because he said he liked her like laid back.
She
kind
said
of outgoing.
Yeah, she said she was mixed. She had like blonde hair, and yeah, she was very spunky, very loud. Seemed like a fun personality.
Yeah.
But so he eliminated her. And then Tyson eliminated Nicole, which we all saw coming from a motorcycle mile away.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then round 3, which is my favorite round.
Yeah, I like that round too.
They get to ask the questions to the girls. And first up was Dean.
Yep. And his question was, if you'd have any kind of superpower, what would it be?
And why?
And why?
And
I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
Though. I mean,
it's a
obviously
really good question.
related to his, being Superman thing, but it does kind of tell you a little bit about the person. If they go with the.
What would you guys' be?
Yeah,
weird thing.
What would your
be?
I always wanted to be able to like teletransport myself, like just to be able to be like, oh, I miss my family. Boom, I'm home. Yeah. Hey, let's go to Hawaii for the night. Okay, we're there.
That's mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd want to like actually be able to fly. Like actually fly.
Cool.
Like
maybe
like
we
Superman.
Maybe we can transport ourselves by flying, and then it's like a win-win.
Like
we get
for
both.
me, there's joy in the journey. And so, like, how cool would it be to like be able to fly yourself to Hawaii, just like Superman does, like, dun, 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 like, I would love to be able, and also, you're really safe because if you're in a situation where somebody's coming at you, or you're trying
fly
to
away.
Yeah, you just fly away. I think flying would be. I wouldn't want anything like reading people's minds or disappearing and being able to sneak around. I just wouldn't want that. Because you
might not want to know the answer.
Yeah, there's too much, and then you end up preoccupying yourself and not like enjoying life.
I know.
Whereas if you can fly, how cool!
I know.
I mean, you could travel everywhere.
Teleportation would be pretty cool.
Teleportation, it's like, in the same. It's like the same idea.
Skip all of the traffic on the 405.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the thing anywhere when I want.
Yeah, but teleportation is it?
Teleportation. Yeah.
You could probably have your stuff with you and hold it, whereas flying it would be difficult because you're like, I'm carrying my
We have really thought this one out.
What if you had super strength and flying powers like Superman?
And then that'd be so cool. But I don't want to look like I have super. I don't want to be like super.
What did the one girl say though? I felt like she had something like she actually
said
had a good one.
Human lie detector,
which I think is really cool.
That was it. Yeah,
and it's not like it's not reading people's minds, but it's
knowing
being
if
able
they're
to.
lying.
It's like if like someone's saying something and like something pops up.
Yeah, like your hazards go off.
But I don't know. There's so much. True. Yeah, that's a good one. I thought that was a good one too.
Honey, does my butt look fat?
No, of course not. Babe.
How do you like this? My new, this dress that I got. And then Jessica's answer. I'm sorry. I mean,
charity. And I
like
get what she was trying to do, but I think she had a preconceived answer that she wanted to fit in somewhere. Yeah. She said she would want to start a charity for children in underprivileged countries.
That's not a superpower. Like, you can do that without superpowers.
Like, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be laughing.
But it was such a bad answer.
It was
I think
so
it was awful.
out of left field. Like, you didn't even hear the question.
Yeah.
You're just trying to sound good.
Yeah.
And like
she said, her
people love charities. I want to take care of other people. And it's like, no, that was not what he asked you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's why she didn't get picked.
Right? She didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Exactly.
Didn't make the choice.
So Sue was next. And Amanda was obviously picked. Yeah. So Sue was next.
Well, I think, going back to Dean Cain, here's the thing. I think he, from the get-go, was all about looks.
Oh, yeah.
All about it. Like, the minute, if you notice, like, as people turned around, like, as he pulled his love handle, it just sounds so bad, but as he pulled it was always brought about by somebody describing their physical. So for her, like, the minute she says, I was a bikini competitor, I have the most best butt out there, he turned around. With other girls, like, if they mentioned something physical, he turned around.
He said when he was choosing between Jessica and Amanda, he said, so either the charity or the butt.
And
I'm going to go with the butt. But as we know, he did date a playmate and has a child with her. So
and like we've been saying all along, at the beginning, it depends on what they say. After the first round, it's no longer about what they say.
Yeah.
Maybe something makes them more appealing to you, but you're still looking at the person. You're I'm not into it.
It's all looks.
Yeah.
And we know from a contestant that we're going to talk about in a minute that your answer can be awful and you can still get chosen. But first, we're going to talk about Suh and his 2 choices. His question was, he mentioned that he donated $2.6 million to the University of Nebraska, which is his alma mater. Yeah, and he asked the girls what's the most generous thing that they've ever done. And
Christy's was rescuing a cat.
Yes. Well, okay, in the question, he worded it, what's the most generous thing you've ever done for a person?
Someone, yes.
And she said, I've rescued a cat.
Yeah. So not because you wanted a cat, what's the most generous thing you've done for someone else?
Yeah.
Which is a tough question if you think about it, though, because it's one of those things, I think just like the question before where we were like, I don't even know who I'd want to meet if I could meet anyone in the world, you know?
But that's an easier one that you can whip out. Like, you have to get kind of personal, the most generous. You have to,
you've got to really think about a personal experience.
Yeah. Well, Diana was second, and she had an amazing answer.
She had a good answer.
And she started tearing up. She said it was for her dad, and she doesn't have a lot of money, but she donated every month. She donates $10. She's donated about $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation, which her father had. And she said,
we don't know.
Oh, yeah. And that hopefully that will help someone someday.
Yeah, it was a very nice, it was a good answer, and it was a heartfelt, genuine answer. And it's not about the money, obviously, you know, it's about the intent and everything.
The thought,
And we're going to talk about who he chose after we mention that you should go to our iTunes page and click subscribe. Leave us some comments because we love hearing your feedback on how we're doing. If you like the show, if you don't, hopefully you do. And tell us, tell a friend, rate, subscribe, everything.
There's the word.
Yeah, there's also a new really cool iPod podcast app. So you can download that on your phone for free and subscribe to AfterBuzz, and it's great.
Yeah.
So Suh picked Diana.
Of course.
Yes, we
saw that coming.
And he said,
called Dean out on the way, saying that he was a gentleman that would let him sit in his seat, or her sit in his seat.
And then Dean still didn't get up.
Yeah, which,
oh my God,
Dean Cain.
Yeah.
But I love his answer for it. Like, the typical, I'm going to justify what I just did instead of, like, correcting my mistake was like, I want her to know that I wear the pants in this relationship.
Yeah. I would have been
like, all right, honey.
Dude, my feet kind of hurt. I wouldn't mind sitting. Like, seriously.
We said, has he ever tried to walk around in heels for a day?
Way to get this relationship off on the wrong foot.
I feel like he's tried. He's tried that at one point or another.
Maybe. So our third guy who was choosing between 2 lovely ladies is Robert. Dr. Nettles. And he then shared his story about being in the motorcycle accident and kind of stumbling onto plastic surgery through that. And
describe
such a crazy story too.
It is a crazy story.
Yeah, he asked the girls to describe an event that changed their life for the better. And
that's also a deep question, you know?
Yeah, and Jenny had a very eloquent answer. She said that her grandparents' passing really changed her life because it opened her eyes and made her appreciate everything. And while it was a really sad moment, it really let her live in the moment. And I thought that it was worded perfectly.
It was a great answer. Yeah. And
Nicole's answer.
In the entire season of The Choice, I'd have to say that's probably the worst answer.
Yes. I would agree with that.
It was horrible.
It was so painful to. I mean, there were points when we were sitting there watching, and we're like, just cut her off. Like,
someone make her stop.
Stop talking.
Someone please make her stop.
So bad.
I wish that we could do like a recap right now, like actually play it back so that people could re-listen to her, because It was just
word vomit. Like she said she's heard about other people getting into accidents and like motorcycle accidents and like going on canoe trips, and you go in a canoe and you realize that you need to be safe because sometimes people take over and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And
you're wakeboarding, you have to look out for the traffic and make sure that the lake's not crowded. Yeah. And don't be on your cell phone while you're driving. Like just grabbing every bits and piece that you can talk about.
Weirdest answer.
Oh goodness.
And Dr. Nettles.
And he picked her.
We all thought that he was going to pick Jenny because that answer was just so horrible.
Yeah.
So
and
bad.
he ended up saying that he likes to live in the moment too, I guess. And ended up picking Nicole.
And Nicole was just as surprised as we were.
Maybe he was just more attracted to Nicole. I think that's for him what it came down to.
I thought Jenny was gorgeous.
Yeah, I did too. I thought Jenny was a lot.
Yeah.
And clearly he doesn't like conversations, so he chose Nicole.
Oh, Dr. Nettles.
Yes. Yeah. But redeeming the guys for this week was Tyson Beckford. And his question, I know, what are you judged unfairly about? And that's because he's a male model, and I actually, before this, didn't know how smart and funny and cute he was. So I judged him.
Did you judge him?
I'm sorry, Tyson.
Kathy,
we're guilty of
doing
it.
You judged him.
I judge people sometimes, and it's
you.
something that I need to work on. But, so Camille was first up, and she said that she's also judged on her looks.
Yeah, she's like, oh, everyone thinks.
I think a lot of people
I think everyone is.
Everybody is. Who isn't? I mean, both of the answers were actually quite similar, but I think Nietzsche's had a little bit more depth to it. Where
they worded it,
it's kind of like an ugly duckling, and I blossomed like at 19.
It's just like a first impression. You get judged on the way that you present yourself and the way that you look. Yeah. So,
yeah.
But I liked that was his question because it showed that he really wanted people to know more about him rather than like sit here and look at me.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to.
So he's more than just a pretty face.
Yeah, we'll listen to you talk too, but just
he's
make
also
sure
got
that
a
we can
great
see
bod.
you.
Don't forget that.
Pretty face, great bod, good conversation.
But we're not fans of him or anything.
No, definitely not.
No, we would not pick him if he turned around for us.
Oh my god.
Never.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so he ended up choosing Nishi. And I think that connection just seemed great. Like we said when we were watching the show that they seemed like they complemented each other really well.
Nicely.
And they could have a great conversation. And he was like, or she was the yin to his yang. And like, I don't know.
I think they were cute.
Yeah.
There is more to Mr. Tyson than we thought.
Yes. So since this was the season finale, we got to see the dates at the end of the show.
Yep.
But we are going to talk about that after a quick commercial break. So stay tuned.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AFTERBUZZ TV. And why? Because AFTERBUZZ TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows, like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AFTERBUZZ TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AFTERBUZZ TV goodness. Check them out. Give them a holler. And tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
So we're back, and the girls are definitely not ready. But we were talking
about Tyson.
Yeah, we're talking about The Choice season finale. So sad. We've definitely enjoyed this season.
It's been a lot of fun.
Some laughs. Yeah.
Some laughs.
Some cries.
Tears.
Not really.
No.
Maybe from the girls. The girls that got sent home.
Yeah.
Or the dates that didn't work out so well.
Yeah, or the guys that weren't happy with their choices.
Yes. Speaking of choices and dates, the final dates for the final show.
Yes, they showed them that night.
Found out about them.
I know.
It's so funny how they wear the same thing. It's like obviously filmed right afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, Kat did mention that last week that the dates are filmed right after. And one of the girls said, I think during the 15-second question round, she said, "Where are you going to take me on our date tonight?"
Oh.
And he said, "Mini golfing if I choose you."
Oh.
But yeah, so the dates tonight started off with Dean and Amanda.
And they
so funny. Sorry to go back what you just said. He really did. His date was mini golf, but it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Oh, it was mini golf. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, back to Dean.
That's right. So he already obviously had picked out his date already.
He was like, "We're going mini golfing."
They knew it was mini golfing because
I would hate that date.
we found out that the dates happen immediately after the show.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Well, it looks like they had a little bit of chemistry.
So Dean and Amanda went to dinner in Malibu and left together without the cameras. So
sounds like they're insinuating something.
they had some connection.
Wink, wink.
We don't know how deep of a connection it is.
Could have just
Or
been a
lasting.
one-night connection.
One night connection, I'm sure. Well,
I'll put my money on that.
I don't know how Amanda feels about that, but
Yeah.
some girls out there would be fine with it.
Yeah, some girls were, I guess. I don't know.
Not me, but
Not me.
Oh, Superman.
you don't like him anymore after tonight?
I
thought you
even if
had-
I did, I wouldn't do that.
I know, but you said,
No, I love him. I'm a huge fan of him. But yeah, he kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit.
yeah,
He just seemed like kind of a, I don't know, kind of a jerk.
yeah.
How funny would it have been if he like opened up his shirt and had like
Yeah.
We did miss
he
that.
just like
That would
popped
be
it open at
funny.
the end of the night.
Yeah. So maybe he did do that off camera. We'll never know.
That was the like
Only
what sealed
Amanda.
the deal.
Yeah.
He was so cute as Superman.
Yeah.
He was so, now I'm thinking about
15
how cute
years
he was.
ago.
Yeah.
He was. He
I
was
know.
like the cutest Clark Kent. And then
Heartthrob. Although the new Superman movie is coming out, so maybe someone will. What's
Oh,
his
it
name?
is?
Yeah.
Is it with the
filmed
same guy? Remember there was a Superman movie, maybe
It's like
Brandon
Harry something.
Brandon, yeah.
Brandon Routh from 2006 is not in.
No,
the new
it's.
Do you know who's in it?
one. I don't remember.
I think it's Harry something.
Really?
Harry.
I want to know who the new
I don't know.
Superman is.
He's gorgeous. If you
Is
see a
he?
picture of him, he's
Really?
very pretty. Yes.
I want to know. I want to see.
Yeah.
I love Superman. Just as a character, I think it's just a great character.
Yeah. So our next date was with Sue and Diana, and they did go mini golfing.
But nothing
And
happened.
Nothing happened.
That's surprising.
Yeah.
I thought it would.
I don't know.
I don't think she was into it, to be honest. I think she wanted to win once someone turned around for her.
We have an answer for our new Superman. Adrian watched our base, just
Woohoo,
tweeted
thanks,
us.
Adrian.
And he's on top of it.
Yeah.
He said Henry Cavillo. So it did start with an H.
Cavillo.
Henry, Harry, close
same
enough.
thing, Yeah. Some old school name.
Yeah.
But a very cute guy.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll be Googling him after the show.
Yes.
Yeah. So Sue and Diana are over.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.
right.
It was fun while it lasted. But
And then the doctor.
yes, Dr. Robert Nettles and Nicole.
How creepy were those pictures?
Whoa.
Like how creepy.
They were like in the limo and he was like touching her and she was
But like the massage.
They went and
she
got
looked
massages,
in the
yeah.
camera and she was like, whoa, what is going on? And then they got massages and they were
'Cause
like,
she was, like-
kind of naked.
Yeah,
and
in the midst of getting a massage. And he was
was,
just
like,
like
staring
on
at her.
his side, just kind of like camped out watching her. Like,
he
no big deal.
clearly wanted the date to
Relocate to his house.
yes, he wanted them
More
to leave
specifically
together
his bed.
without cameras.
Yes.
And
Or with cameras.
it did not work out for them because Nicole said that they'd be better as friends.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know.
Those are so creepy pictures.
Yeah. So our last
kinda
date, which seemed like it went well, Tyson and Nishi, they went to a 5-star dinner together, exchanged phone numbers, and planned to see each other again. And I thought when they were showing the pictures of their date, like Tyson went in to like kiss her on the cheek, and then it looked like he kissed her again on the cheek, and it was so cute.
It looked like
seem cute.
Nietzsche was like so excited.
I
Like when she
know.
got picked, she's like, "Oh my god, I can't."
Because
believe
she stayed really true to herself. She didn't sell herself out. She
No.
didn't say anything to flaunt like her physical appearance. She was just, this is me. And then she had that killer, what was it, stem cell research
Yeah,
answer. Goodness.
Every single answer she
Yeah.
gave was 5-star,
Yep.
like their date.
Yep, totally.
Yeah. So any other final thoughts or comments
No
on
more
this
predictions. But I can't have any predictions. I
Predictions.
said no more predictions. 'cause it's
Predictions.
over.
Well, do you think that this show is going to come back for a second season?
No.
No.
I mean, I want to be optimistic and say yes, but I mean, you can only take it so far, you know? Even the dates, we saw a 30-second edited version.
I feel like if they came back and reworked it a little bit, it would
like
have
the
so much
concept.
potential.
Yeah, the
I really
concept's
like the
there.
concept.
I love the concept, and we said a couple weeks ago that it's just a show to have fun with. Like, it's so much fun to watch with your girlfriends and, like, laugh and,
back
like,
and talk about it like we do.
Exactly.
I think what would be more interesting is seeing the actual dates.
Yeah.
But that's not the show. The show is how they choose them. But I think I like the concept. I think the concept's really fun. And I just think it needs to be reworked a little bit.
Yeah.
I would like next season, if they do come back, to do more female episodes because I thought that was the best one.
I did too. I thought it was a lot of fun
those
to watch
girls,
that.
they had the sex appeal. They were working it, and they knew what they wanted their guys to say, and the guys were just working it for them.
That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like the
thought it was a
shows
good
where
one.
they have comedians on, or
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Vanessa Mitchell was great.
personality.
Yeah. So wrapping up our final show of The Choice. Thank you so much for joining us all season.
Yes.
And where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Samantha_Laich, Laich.
Twitter, Erika Viera, LA.
And you can find me on Twitter as well, at Cathy Kelley. So again, thank you so much for tuning in to The Choice. And we will see you next time. Make sure you tune into other AfterBuzz TV shows.
Yay.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.